I'm at the LeBrea Tar pits, and I came in and I when I looked it up online, there was like a free stuff and then a paid museum thing. I'll probably just do the free stuff depending on what I see here. So this is, I don't know what. I just asked some people down in as I got dropped off by the Uber out by the parking lot that I said, I've never been here before. What should I see? Because they were walking their dogs. So I guess a lot of this is just like a free, like a park area. And there's also a museum you can pay to go into. So I heard there's a big tar pit over this way, so that's where we're going. And yeah, there's people playing games, walking dogs. They said there's a great big tar pit over here by this road. So I got to tell you, I've never seen a tar pit, so I don't know what I'm looking for. I picture tar in a pit, but who knows? I guess you walk around in, there's like a park and you walk around, there's little tar pits, big tar pits. Now, why would I ever want to go to the LeBrea Tar pits? Well, I think most of us have heard that they found, I think it was a woolly mammoth or something in the tar pit. And because it was in the tar, it was relatively well preserved. Of course, it had to be pretty dirty, just laying in the tar. But I just thought it'd be something to see. I'm trying to kill time because I should be out to the airport at 8 o'clock, and right now time here is about 5 something, I think. So just trying to use up some time and do something with it. So, oh yeah, okay, they got you'll see this in just a minute. They got a couple of mammoth statues over here. Actually, looks like it's actually in the tar pit too. So, here we go. So I hope you guys can see that okay. I'll probably zoom in on it once I stand still. There's a picture of it's a woolly mammoth sculpture of some kind, or a statue, whatever you want to call it. Here there's a baby woolly mammoth, and another woolly mammoth. Let me see what the sign says here. Let me small this up a bit. I got to make it bigger than that. I can't read it. Imagine Ice Age LA. The Colombian mammoth sculptures installed. Oh, I turned the sound off. I guess, I don't know. So the Colombian mammoth sculptures installed here at the Lake Pit in 1968 reflect the interpretation of sculptor Howard Bale, fossil studies and research at the tar pits museum have since revealed more about how these mammoths lived and died. Our research keeps adding to our understanding of these and other fascinating Ice Age creatures. So that's what this says. It also says Los Angeles 1968 Howard Ball towed the male mammoth sculpture from his studio here with his VW bug. I'm going to step back so we can see the whole thing. There we go. So his VW, his punch bug, toting that big old statue. And there's the baby and I guess, I don't know what this, the daddy or what it is, but, and then there's this one here is actually in the tar pit, I think. So what the sculptures show a mammoth family consisting of a male standing, a baby, and a female becoming trapped. The sculpture shows the female has wandered knee-deep into the lake, presumably to drink. Sticky tar, concealed by several feet of water, traps her there. The sculpture shows the female trumpeting in terror while the male stands helplessly on the shore. What science tells us. Scientists believe that the Columbian mammoths lived in female-led herds with adult males living apart except for mating season. Asian elephants, their closest living relatives, live this way now. Evidence from LeBrea indicates that mammoths didn't have to wander into tar pits, tar-filled lakes to become stuck. Just a few inches of goo could take them down. Most Columbian mammoths trapped at LeBrea were males, not females. Some scientists think this is because male mammoths typically live on their own. They didn't have the companions to yank them out of the tar. Well, that's interesting. And then we've got Columbian, let's see, when mammoths walked on Wilshire. So Columbian mammoths lived right here during the last ice age. We call it the ice age because thick ice sheets covered parts of the globe and cooled the planet. Even parts that weren't ice covered, like Los Angeles, were cooler than now. We study fossils here to discover what survived and what went extinct during the ice age. So you've got this chart here, ice age extinction and survival. Columbian mammoth, saber-toothed cat, yesterday's camel, Harlan's ground sloth, short-faced bear. Many large mammals went extinct as the last ice age ended, including Columbian mammoths, American mastodons, yesterday's camels, dire wolves, ground sloths, and saber-toothed cats. Smaller survivors. In contrast, hundreds of smaller animals like rabbits, rodents, birds, bats, coyotes, insects, and snails are still with us today. And they've got down there insects, coyote, bats, the same thing I just read. How we doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good, good. I'm almost done here. I was just reading out the signs. I'm doing a little live stream here.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
How you guys doing today?
Pretty good,
Man, it got chilly, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. Ice Age LA was cooler and wetter. You're standing just 30 feet from Wilshire Boulevard, where Columbian mammoths walked 20 to 40,000 years ago. Los Angeles was wetter, cooler, and greener than these 11-ton wonders lived and died here. And there you go. So let's go ahead and walk around. We saw this. I'll see if I can zoom in a little any tighter and make it watchable. And that's Wilshire Boulevard where all the cars are going by. That's right there. And poor mammoth caught in the tar.
The mom is supposed to be trapped.
And I got the baby one.
This is the tar pit?
Look how active they are.
And then there's the daddy.
Is that oxygen nice? You can kind of see the tar seeping.
Okay, cool. So the tar pits itself, you see it's bubbling out there. And I guess that's like methane gas, from what I was told earlier from the people I asked directions from. And it's bubbling up. They said this was in the movie Volcano, I think. They said the tar pits exploded in the movie, so I asked them if it was going to explode when I was out there. Of course, they don't know the answer to that question, but probably not altogether likely. So that's quite a big pit. So it's got water on top. So yeah, I can see where somebody could get stuck in that. Let's walk around this way. I guess this other part's kind of more of a park-like setting. And we'll see what we got over here. Well, I don't think there's anything to see right now. I don't see any. Oh, yeah, there's some stuff. Oops. It says buried oil makes great goo. The lake is actually a pit left over from asphalt mining operations in the late 1800s. At that time, LeBrea Tar was mined to seal roofs and roads. The pit has since collected rain and groundwater, creating this small lake. The lake's bubbles, sheen, and stink come from a deep underground oil field. This buried layer of oil also produces gooey patches of tar on the ground. Now we got to get a little closer for the rest of this. When did we dig here? The area was mined for asphalt in the 1870s. By the early 1900s, fossil digs began here. And the lake pit is where LeBrea's first confirmed fossil was found. It belonged to a saber-toothed cat. Woo-woo! Stink. Tar. Stink. What stinks? The rotten egg odor is hydrogen sulfide. It comes from the natural breakdown of hydrocarbons, molecules, and crude oil. Goo. What is it made of? LeBrea Tar is actually asphalt, the lowest grade of crude oil. Asphalt is left over after crude oil's lighter elements like kerosene have evaporated. Bubbles. What's bubbling? The bubbles are of methane, a colorless and odorless gas, and hydrogen sulfide. Methane forms with crude oil when marine organisms break down due to heat and pressure. Brea, Spanish for tar or pitch. Pit, a hole left by the mining asphalt or digging of fossils, later filled by water, dirt, and asphalt. How does the tar get here? You are standing 1,000 feet above an oil field. The oil oozes all the way up to the ground. Animals and bits of plants get stuck. The animals die and all succumb to the goo. LeBrea Tar has trapped millions of living things over thousands of years and preserved hard parts like bone, wood, and shell nearly perfectly. Asphalt may form shallow pools when it reaches the surface. Animals and plants become trapped in the surface asphalt. Okay. Pressure forces oil upward from the oil field through the cracks in the overlaying rock. A large oil field lies 1,000 feet below this part of Los Angeles. Lake pit, circa 1912. View of the lake pit and the old Hancock Ranch House and oil derricks. Yeah, there's, okay. And tar pit treasures become public park. George Allen Hancock donated 23 acres of his family's ranch to the county of Los Angeles in 1924 for a public park. His goal, protect these tar pits and their fossil treasure for future generations. From the 1870s to the early 1900s, 2 generations of Hancock family owned and operated asphalt mines and a ranch, drilled oil wells, and safeguarded LeBrea's fossils. So I think that's all that. Let's get walking before it gets too dark. I don't know if there's any lights on this trail or not, but we shall endeavor to persevere. Okay. It says fossil sites on the top, amphitheater, LACMA, I don't know what that is, Brown Amphitheater, and Project 23. So we're just going to walk this way where there's an obvious path. I might turn it around. There's nothing to see for a couple seconds here. So, yeah, it's interesting that it's just here, kind of out in the open. You can just walk up and take a look at things, you know, that's kind of cool. Normally you got to pay for everything, you know, but I guess because it's a public park, well, in New York, even public parks, you got to pay usually to, not all of them, but some of them to get in. Okay. Here comes a sculpture. That would probably have to be the Hancock guy, right? I would think. Captain G. Allen Hancock, donor of the park, 1916. Oh, you guys couldn't see that because I had my face turned around. Oh boy. So let's continue on the path here and see what we got. This must be the museum over here. Kind of a cool looking thing. Giant ivory tusks up there on the top. I'm sure meant to represent the mammoth find. And we are, I think if I go to the left, I'm going to the museum. And we're not going to the museum. Probably not. Mostly because I probably should get to the airport, not too far away from now. Plane leaves, I think it's 11:15, which means I should be there 8:45, which means I got about at least a half an hour drive, maybe 40 minutes, an hour or so. So that would put me leaving, let's see, 9. Yeah, I mean, I got some time, but I might as well, I don't want to, sorry, got distracted. Okay, I don't want to press it too much. For some weird reason, I did not print my ticket going back to New York. I don't know if it would let me at the time that I printed the one going to LA. I've got it on my phone, the itinerary and all that, and the proof that I bought the ticket and all. But, sometimes that can cause minor slowdown, not too much. Here's something I haven't heard about before. Hook-billed monster bird. Teratorns could fly as fast as 35 miles an hour, but couldn't lift off after stepping into LeBrea Tar. Best offense, a long hooked bill used to grab smaller prey. Favorite food, lizards, mice, and other birds, maybe even bison carcasses too. Did you know Teratorn means monster bird in Greek? No, I did not. And where can I see one? Visit the Tar Pits Museum to see real Teraton skeletons and life-size Teraton puppet. Oh man, that'd be a reason to go into the museum, right? Oh, and that's a thing. Teraton. Okay. I guess must be like one of the pits. Pits 3, 4, 61, and 67. It says on this thing. So we got, there's a wet spot over there. Could be a pit, I suppose. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. This looks like it probably is one. I don't see any, it looks like there might be tar oozing up through the ground. It's getting a little dark out now. The tar pits are a time capsule that leaves us clues as to the animals that died. That's a short version of what that said. And death trap for meat eaters. A death trap for dire wolves, saber-toothed cats, because they couldn't resist the temptation. Scientists think in the sight and the smell of other animals stuck in the tar. It makes sense. One fatal footstep is all it took. I seem to be going into an area that I can't get into, so I think I'll go back the other way. Whoops. Okay, so this looks like a well-beaten path right here. Walk on some stones. Oh, I want to go see these two big statues here. I wonder if they're life-size statues of the sloth they were talking about. That would be my guess. There's some big old goobers, I'll tell you that. Big claws on them. So maybe for perspective. So this one is kind of bent down sort of straight. This one over here is standing up on its hind legs. So you can see that's a big old goober. That's a big old goober, all right. Got some nasty looking claws on that thing. So there you go. It has kind of a dinosaur looking face, doesn't it? Okay, it doesn't say if they're like if they built these from maybe skeletons that they found in the tar pits, maybe, so that gives it an accurate portrayal. I would guess that, but I don't know that to be true. Next. Okay, so I just read that whole thing to myself, and it basically says that they think these yesterday's camels, they think they're more related. They look a little bit like llamas, but they're supposedly more related to camels. They think they could run at about 40 miles an hour, and they spit. Their best defenses were spitting and speed. So the science is they got the big crates contain our most recent fossil finds, millions of them. We are digging through the crates and making new discoveries every day. Millions of new fossils from Project 23, named for the 23 crates, are helping us reconstruct the environment of the Ice Age LA. From mammoth tusks to mouse toes to fossils big and small, tell us what LA was like long ago. So there they are. That's a big old fossil crate right there. I can't read any of this, it's too dark. Ooh. Well, that's interesting stuff. So it says here that some of the fossils weigh between, it says there's a headline that says how long does it take to basically to dig up a fossil. And it says it varies greatly. The boxes range in size from 9,000 to 123,000 pounds. Wow. They contain anywhere from a few hundred to thousands of fossils. They also have an assortment of matrix types with differing combinations of rocks, sand, silts, and asphalt. I'm moving quickly through this instead of reading it all because I'm afraid we're going to run out of daylight. And I'm not seeing an awful lot of lighting out here. They got lights, but they're not real bright. So, there you go. That's a dwarf pronghorn. That must have been something that was found here. It says they were incredibly small, weighing up to 22 pounds only. That's less than the average corgi. Very tiny deer. Not sure what this structure is. Oh, it's like an amphitheater. Maybe when they bring tour groups in or something? I don't know. Well, there's no sign on it. Maybe there is on the backside, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what that was.
Yeah.
It says well-armored, gentle giant. Ground sloths were tough, enough to shake off some big predators, but couldn't get loose from the tar. Best defense, razor-sharp claws and bony armor hidden in the skin. Closest living relative, South American tree sloth. Favorite food, green, grass, leaves, tree roots, and twigs. Where can I see one? In the museum. So this is apparently a tar pit over here that's got some obvious looking tar on the top. Other than that, it's just kind of a depression in the ground. Well, Steve, you called that one right. Dorothy Collins Brown Amphitheater. Huh. Death trap for meteors, another one of those signs like that. So this is, I can see why people come walk their dogs here. Number one, it's free, which is a plus. And it's nice. It's got a lot of paths around here. Trees. Got the, of course, the tar pits, the smell of the tar pits, which doesn't bother me. It smells a little sulfury, but not real bad. So that must be part of the museum over there, I'm guessing. So I'm not going to head that way. I'm going to actually call an Uber and head to the airport. And I think that'll wrap up our tour of the LeBrea Tar pits for now. So, well, I'll keep the video running until we get to the front, out to the sidewalk out there. Maybe we'll go up this is a little bit different route. Not that much different. I think we'll take this dirt path here. So, you guys have been with me for a while. Some of you, I'm sure nobody's been here the whole time with me. But, yeah, so this is typical of a day in the life of Steve Callaway. If I travel, I like to try to squeeze every drop of orange juice out of that orange that I can. Oftentimes, I know with the other Angelina concerts, we didn't have, because of the flights, I didn't have, well, I drove there, but didn't really have a lot of time to go explore. I had to get back. So, let's see what this one says. It's talking about the mammoths. Looks can be deceiving. This small tar-filled pit was once a major dig that produced hundreds of LeBrea's biggest fossils, Columbian mammoth bones. 12 foot tall, 11 ton, Columbian mammoths were the largest, most powerful creatures in the Ice Age. In Ice Age LA, sorry. But even they couldn't overcome LeBrea's sticky goo. This pit trapped at least 27 individual Columbian mammoths. The excavated, this is pit 9, by the way. So it says they excavated from pit 9 from 1913 to 1915. It was the 9th of 96 pits we dug during that period. The oldest fossils from pit 9 are more than 40,000 years old. The most recent are 13,000 years old. Okay. Picture of a mammoth. 12 feet high. 12 feet high. That's getting up there. LeBrea's biggest animal, easily defeated most predators, but couldn't overpower the tar. Best defense, 10-foot tusks, tough skin, and 11 tons of hulking weight. Favorite food, grass, leaves, and shrubs by the ton. Closest living relative, Asian elephant. Where can I see one? I bet you it's in the museum, right? I probably should have went in the museum, but I think I don't know if it's still open or not. But I'm starting to get a little anxious about my flight back. I want to make sure I get the ticket situation all squared around, get checked in, and I'll probably grab a bite to eat before we get on the plane because I'm not getting home until, well, we're going backwards in time, losing, as we go home, I'm losing 3 hours. I gained 3 hours coming here. So I'm leaving at a little before 11 tonight, and I get home right around 11 tomorrow morning, Monday morning. So it sounds like a 12-hour thing, but we're, -3. So then there's a layover in Atlanta. So, I'll be on the road for a while. Really can't here. I walked right past this without looking in there. Really can't see much in this tar pit. It's more just looks like a depression in the ground. I'm surprised trees can grow in there. I guess they're, if they can't, they won't, and they can anyway, so. All right, continue on our way. This is a nice park. So, I guess I'm not saying very much. What's up with that? So I think that's, I think once I get to the Uber here for going to the airport, I probably will sign off. I may sign back in at the airport at some point. I may sign in at my layover in Atlanta, doing a little more live streaming maybe. And I expect when I get home, I'll be busy doing all kinds of things. I got to get some videos posted. I haven't posted anything for, 3 days? I didn't post anything, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday. No, that's not right. I think I posted something on Thursday. Anyway, I like to put out 2 or 3 videos a day, and I'm behind schedule. So I got to get back and get to work. Enough of this lazing around. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I think I'm going to shut this off now. I'm almost to where I'm going to call the Uber. And we will see you later. Thank you so much for watching, for those that are still here.